Welcome to FML, and today we're going over my latest financial mistake, what I paid for, where I got it from, and why I got it. And in the background you can probably tell why I got it. Stay tuned. So this is a 2004 Mercedes E500 4MATIC wagon. It's got a V8, 300 horses and like 340 foot-pounds of torque, somewhere around there. It's a 5-liter V8, and this has got the wonderful dual spark plugs in it, so I got 16 spark plugs to change in this if I ever decide to do so. The reason why I got it was it matches my other green wagon. They're almost the exact same color, and I was pretty stoked to find it. This thing's got a clear title, and I paid $775 for it, which with fees and towing and everything, I'm at $1,500 for a run and driving Mercedes wagon. And it's got 324,000 miles on it. Keep that in mind when I'm walking around this thing, that it has that many miles on it, and my mind's just blown. And I've already did a little bit of wrenching on it. You're gonna see that in another video. Previous owner took very good care of this, and it's only a one-owner vehicle. So let's do a walk around. Alright, here we go. So first thing is this bumper's busted up, and when we get to the rear of the vehicle you'll see that it got rear-ended, and I'm guessing this is from it hitting the vehicle in front of it, because it's not super bad. It looks like it was just a bumper and a grill. Judging by this grill, I'm going to say it's been replaced before because of this chrome on it's kind of peeling off, and you can definitely tell that this is the original paint on the hood. There are pits all over the place, and that will justify its high mileage, but it looks like this bumper's been painted before, so it might have, yeah, we got some orange peel and stuff here, so I'm going to guess that this bumper's been replaced before, either in an accident, a light fender bender, or I'm guessing it was pitted up pretty bad too. So moving on. As for the rest of the body, it's in pretty good shape. Windshield's good. I don't got to replace the windshield in this thing. Pretty excited about that. We got 4 matching tires. They're all pretty good tread. They're called Vedestein. I've never heard of that brand. I thought they were like a Chinese brand, but it says they were made in the Netherlands, so I don't know. What I did notice, and the rotors are Mercedes, brake pads are Mercedes, these shocks on the front, and this thing's got air ride on it, adaptive suspension and all that other good stuff. It's got a date of 2018 on them, so they've been replaced recently, so I don't have to worry about that for a little bit. And now that we're talking, I can see that this bumper is a replacement, so it is what it is. I think I'm going to look for an AMG bumper to put on here. Going down the rest of the car, there's really no body damage on it, but until we get to the back, you'll see where the main damage is. And this is all I saw in the photos on Copart. And again, this goes along the lines of, remember to go out and check these vehicles out, because from first look I think I just needed a tailgate, right? Not so much. The bumper scratched or cracked a little bit more than I thought it would, but let's see if I can get underneath there for you guys. It hit all the way to this back trunk galley, and that made for a hell of a time to get the battery out, because the battery is in the back. Let's see if we get this open. The battery is in the back underneath all this stuff, and I broke this handle off trying to pull this latch system up, but basically this all shifted forward, so we'll see how everything aligns, but it's a little bit more than I thought it was going to be. Which, this thing has a Mercedes battery in it. It's charging in the house. Hopefully I can save it. Just goes to show you what the original owner did for this thing in terms of maintenance. The rear brakes look like they're pretty new. Really no body damage on this side. This thing looks in great shape. Interior, it's a little dirty, but there's no rips or nothing like that. And I'm guessing this is because of the accident, but these belts are tight. I'm guessing they've been tensioned. The tensioners blew, and I've never ever dealt with that. So this will be a learning curve. So keep an eye out for a video of me ripping seatbelts out. As for the front, seats again are all in good shape. We got a little side bolster wear over here. Other than that, everything's just kind of dirty. One of the main reasons why I was excited about this car were the options. This thing's got navigation. This thing's got adaptive cruise control. This thing's got adaptive headlights. This thing also has adaptive seats. And I think that was like a $2,500 option. Don't quote me on that. The only option this thing doesn't have is the keyless go, which I'm kind of sad, but not really. But it'd be nice to have all the options. One interesting fact that I learned while playing around in this thing is this. I didn't know this was a thing. Gets a little sticky there, but that's where the CD changer is. I would have never known that there. I thought this was just a little decorative chrome piece, and I barely touched it, and it just popped open. And then we also have transformer cup holder. Woo! I don't know why Mercedes and BMW get so elaborate with these cup holders. I've seen some Doug DeMuro videos where he's doing Porsche 911s, and like the cup holders in those seem to get pretty elaborate, hidden behind wood trim and stuff like that. So okay, German manufacturers, settle down. Another thing that I noticed is that this has got Mercedes wiper blades on it. I'm guessing this guy took it to Mercedes dealer all the time to get service done on it, and it just blows my mind that this thing has this many miles on it and is in this good a shape. Here is the glorious V8, 5-liter V8, dual overhead cam, dual spark plug, so that has me pretty excited. I'm hoping the owner has had them changed a few times. We're going to run it, and you're going to hear that it actually runs quite well. Another thing that I noticed is that I'm not really sure how you check the oil on these. Is this dipstick broken? I don't know. Is this for the transmission? I'm guessing it's for the oil. I see things pop up on the thing for the oil, but I don't never know how to get back to it. It pops up for a second and it goes right back off. So okay, we'll go through, check air filters and cabin filters and get all that stuff changed out. I'm gonna do the change oil to see where I'm at with that. Let's start her up. 324,000 miles, and this thing purrs like a kitten. It's smooth. I'm just amazed by it. So let's get it on the road. Well, there you have it. Starts up. Headlight cornering malfunction shows up. Safety restraint system shows up, which I'm guessing is because of the seatbelts in the back, which the front ones didn't lock up, only the rear ones did. So we'll have to do some digging in on that. That's a whole new realm for me, so I want to make sure I have it done right because my kids are going to be in here. The other thing that we noticed when I was giving rides to people was the airbag light always says it's off. And there's people sitting in here and it still says it's off. So I don't know what's up with that. Other lights, headlight cornering. Still trying to figure this out. Yeah, right now we're only getting the 2 malfunctions. And again, we got our airbag light on over there. When I do try to change the suspension, because it kind of runs a little rough, you'll notice that in the video, I'll get another malfunction. We will have to hook this up to a scanner and find out what's going on, exactly what we need to do. we're in the car. Let's go for a ride. Almost forgot my seatbelt. And here we go. So when this thing showed up on the trailer, both wheels were going opposite of each other, and somehow we were able to get it off the trailer. But what ended up happening was a inner tie rod broke. I'm guessing it's one of the things that is from a forklift picking it up, because there's no other damage on there from a broken tie rod. So it had to have happened at Copart. So again, keep that stuff in mind when you're buying stuff from Copart and the damage that can be done from these forklifts, because I don't know if you guys remember from my last video, they can really screw some stuff up. So keep that in mind. Unless you like taking risk, I recommend looking at this stuff. But I did get the tie rod replaced, which was kind of a hassle in itself, because there's apparently a difference between all-wheel drive tie rods and the rear-wheel drive only tie rods. So people were pretty confused by that. Stay tuned for a video of me doing the tie rods. It was a pretty easy job. There's nothing crazy about it. So the tie rods did add to the cost of this vehicle. They were like $62. I feel bad with all this Mercedes stuff on this thing, replacement parts, that I just threw on some Napa tie rods. But first of all, the car needs to be moved. Second of all, I need to at least have this thing running and driving so that the park manager, apparently we got a new one, doesn't freak out. It's a done job now. It drives straight, oddly enough. So we'll get it in for alignment, make sure all that's squared away. The suspension buttons on here don't do anything. There's Comfort, Sport 1, Sport 2, and that's it. And then another button is to raise the whole vehicle. Yeah, I feel like all the settings are the same. And I test drove a 2008 GL 550, and that had the same setup as this. And I could definitely tell between Comfort and Sport. So something is malfunctioning here, and we'll have to dig into that. Hopefully it's just a sensor. All the airbags are holding air, and this thing was brought into Copart in January, and I just now bought it. Speaking of which, here is when I bought it. As for running, it feels like it's got all of its power. The transmission shift's really good. No hiccups there at all, nothing. Brakes are on point. Steering, everything feels good. The tie rod was broken on the passenger side, but it was bent on the driver's side. And what's kind of sad about that is that it had a brand new inner and outer tie rod. Honestly, getting tired of buying suspension parts for cars. Try not to hit a motorcyclist. Not a motorcyclist, just a cyclist. The guy's got no motor on it. The air conditioning works, heated steering wheel works, heated seats work. I can't really feel the ventilated seats work, but I'm not sure about that. Everything else seems to work in this. Somebody took out the navigation DVD, so I can't confirm if that works or not, because there's no maps for it to load, which I know a lot of people say we have smartphones now and everything, but I like having these old navigation systems that's like a backup map, because if I am out in the country with no reception, then your Google map isn't going to work. So I like having these old systems as a backup, and plus it helps me look at it, and then plus I get audio when I'm driving on some back roads, because those usually don't change from those maps. So, and that's actually about the only time I need them. Floor it. thing moves. I thought about keeping an eye out for a V6 wagon, but I needed a V8. And now my wife wants me to drive the minivan while she drives this. And as the man of the house, I'm putting my foot down and letting her drive it once in a while. This thing's just going to be a daily driver. I'm not going to really mess with it. The bumper is going to need to be replaced, so I'm probably just going to upgrade that to a E500 AMG bumper. And then the tailgate, I found one local to me for 175 bucks, and I should be able to paint the bumper and the tailgate, and I might just replace that back bumper. It's got a little more cracks in it than I thought. And I'll also have to look for a rear cross member, which there's one at my local junkyard, and I would like to hope that a sedan and the wagon have the same bumper reinforcements and stuff like that. As for the rear tub, I'm just gonna pound it out. If it needs to be reinforced, I will weld in some, like a bar or something like that. My kids will be in the back, so if I am rear-ended ever, I want to know that they're going to be protected. So we will be making sure that that is structurally good back there. And once we get the bumper off, we'll be able to see some more damage if there is any. So keep an eye out for that video. We'll do a video of the tailgate being replaced, the bumpers and stuff like that. My priority is to get that tailgate replaced because that's the biggest eyesore, and being in a trailer park, I like to look good. And with that, folks, this is my Copart deal of the month. I am done buying cars for a while. I've said this before, but I am definitely done buying cars. I got 6 of them sitting in my driveway right now, and everything needs a little bit of something. So I will be focusing on that BMW X5, a little bit on this, and then we're going to switch over to that Volvo wagon because my wife also loves that thing. You guys, don't forget to subscribe, check out the music. I've probably said this 14 times in this video, but supporting local music is really important to me. It makes a lot more work on my end making these videos and trying to find music and contacting artists and see if they'll even allow me to use their music, and just to make sure that they're getting credit for what they're producing. Some of these bands are just starting out. Some of them, you know, have some record labels behind them, but I try to get music that A, is local to me, and B, needs exposure. One of my favorite things doing as a young lad is listening to new music, going out to concerts and stuff like that. So don't forget to support them. They put a lot of work into their music too. And there you have it, folks, the newest regret in my line of financial mistakes. Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to check out my other videos, and don't forget to keep an eye out for the video of me fixing the tie rod ends on this thing. Thanks for watching, and keep making financial mistakes.